down the piste as well. Ribera of Brazil. Is this the highlight reel? Is this the moment?
Everyone out enjoying the team sprint. How can you not?
It's not a canine calamity.
Doggy there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Start the stream.
Holy fuck, dude. It's weird how he can pick up his phone, message me to stream, but he can't find the fucking stream, dude.
Fuck, dude. Oh, damn, dog. You started the stream. Yo, should I delete Battlefield 6?
No, obviously we're not having fun with it, but I feel like it's fun to troll on. There's not many ways to troll on. So, like, if you want to delete it, I don't care, because I'll delete it, because I have no need for it anymore, but if you want to play it, like, 1 or 2 more times, I'm fine with that.
Okay.
It's up to you.
I tried to give it a chance, but yeah, man, there's only so much I can do.
Because it's not even the point that I can't win a gunfight. It's that I can't find enough people to even warm up. So like I could be 12-4 halfway through the game. So it's not like I'm like playing bad. It's just I can't see people. So it just doesn't make sense. Like they genuinely changed a lot about the game, and I don't know how the spawn system works in that game enough to know right away if it's the spawn system that they changed or what.
Absolutely breaks my heart to see this. That the Chicago Bears are preparing to leave Chicago to become the Hammond Bears. That's right. The Hammond Bears. And the issue is property taxes. The people of Chicago, the people of Illinois, they have elected a government that is burning everything down. And now they're going to lose their iconic football team. The Bears, Soldier Field, man. Growing up, knowing all about it. We had the SNL skit, you guys remember, the Bears. And the guys talking like they're from Chicago, repairing garage door openers.
So far in the Game of Thrones book, who are your favorite chapters and who are your least favorite? If you, or like, can you even answer that?
Well, see, like I haven't read since like I last talked about it.
Well,
and you're further in the book.
You're what, like at least halfway, right? Well, you said you're like page 300 or something out of 800, so I don't know. Like, do you remember where you are?
Page 360.
Do you remember any of the last things that happened?
Okay, so I basically, you know where Robert finds out Daenerys is pregnant in the council meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I just finished that chapter. Or like where I left off or whatever.
Okay. So like, okay, so I guess I'll just ask, so far, even though you may not be able to give like an actual proper opinion, who would you say are your favorites and least favorites?
I'd probably say my least favorite right now is Sansa's chapters.
Okay.
Like I don't really think I'm like all too interested in her storyline or whatever.
Well, remember her storyline also leads into everything. She's basically, her and Arya are basically the only eyes we have for all of King's Landing, right? So anything that happens there. Oh,
right.
And I guess Eddard, I guess depending on when he goes to King's Landing. So, at least to me, hers, I would say get better for sure, but it could just be my opinion.
Yeah, so far my favorite has to be either Tyrion or Eddard so far.
Yeah, Tyrion, like, I, I feel like the show contrast Tyrion to the book is pretty accurate. Maybe not looks wise, because apparently he's supposed to be like way uglier, but it's pretty accurate
Yeah.
to me.
Well, he's supposed to have different colored eyes, so.
Yeah, he's supposed to be like really weird looking.
But yeah, I'm at like last I checked, like Tyrion, he's like being brought to the Vale or whatever for his trial or whatever by
Oh, so
Catelyn.
they're still on the road.
Oh no, they just got there.
They just got there. I guess that's a little different. Like the way that they actually get up there is interesting, which I guess they didn't show in the show. But I don't. But yeah. For me, my least favorite, at least, because I just finished it today. I feel like my least favorite is Catelyn. I just feel like her story starts to drag, like towards the middle-ish part, but it kind of picks up again at the end.
I can't remember. Does Rob have chapters? Because I can't even remember if he does.
Well, that I don't think he does. Maybe he does when he becomes like more of a main character, like when he takes over for his dad and during the war. But basically, once Catelyn's storyline starts to get better is when Rob is kind of the other character in her story. Because you know how in Sansa's story it's either what, like, she's talking to her dad at one point or Cersei. For Catelyn, it's Rob. So he comes in and then it's basically like that.
No one ever talked that way, at least not in my lifetime. But it was still funny. And now because the state and city are horribly mismanaged by corrupt individuals, it's come to this. Now I can point to New York and I can mock Zoran Mamdani and say, you get what you get. And I can look at LA and California and say, you get what you get. But those weren't home. The sad reality is why I left Chicago, for the most part. And it's sad because the buildings, the restaurants, the people, I love it. I love it, I always did. But it was just poorly managed. And that's an understatement. And so now what you get is, I guess, reaping what you've sown. Too many people have become complacent. They vote for far-left, psychotic individuals who lie, cheat, and steal. And now you are losing your football team. But it's a downward spiral, I suppose, because people are going to say, Tim, you left. And when you leave, that talent and that passion leaves with you. And you are correct. Now, I'd love to go back, take back my city, push these people out. But the reason why I don't is that it really does feel like trying to knock down a skyscraper with a ball-peen hammer. And maybe that's a mistake, though. Maybe it is a mistake. I don't know that we have the means to withstand the political corruption of Chicago. And so in the end, you leave. And the Bears are about to do the exact same thing. ABC7 Chicago. Chicago Bears release statement as Indiana committee passes Hammond Stadium bill. The Bears said in a statement the passage of SB 27 would mark the most meaningful step forward in our stadium planning efforts to date. We are committed to finishing the remaining site-specific necessary due diligence to support our vision to build a world-class stadium near the Wolf Lake area in Hammond, Indiana. We appreciate the leadership shown by Governor Braun, Speaker Houston, Senator Mishler, and members of the Indiana General Assembly in establishing this critical framework and path forward to deliver a premier venue for all of Chicagoland and a destination for Bears fans and visitors from across the globe. We value our partnership and look forward to continuing to build our working relationship together. Well, communist scumbag Brandon Johnson had this to say.
Is my face straight? Okay. All right, I keep a straight face here. The Bears belong in the city of Chicago. The Chicago Bears belong in the city of Chicago, right? And I've said repeatedly that the door is always open for conversations, you know, and, you know, Kevin Warren did call me yesterday. We didn't get a chance to connect. And I still firmly believe that their best position is in Chicago, and it's evidence. The evidence is clearly speaking for itself.
Yeah, no. Let me throw it to our good friend Grok. The Bears are leaving largely due to a property tax issue. They want to build a new stadium. They're looking at Arlington Heights, which is kind of crazy because Chicago loses them either way. Now, to be fair, Arlington Heights is a northwest suburb, so it's not like the Chicagoland area completely loses it, but Hammond, Indiana isn't that far either. Chicago seems to be losing them no matter what. Grok says, the Chicago Bears are not literally leaving Chicago for general property tax in the city. Instead, the ongoing discussions and threats of relocation center on the team's push for a new stadium and the associated property tax implications. So yeah. They currently play at Soldier Field in Chicago, but have long wanted a modern stadium. Guys, Soldier Field's very old. They've owned land in Arlington Heights since buying the former Arlington Park racetrack site for about $197 million a few years ago. Plans involve building a $2 billion stadium there, plus surrounding equipment. The key issue is property taxes on that future stadium and mega project. Under standard Illinois Cook County property tax rules, which are among the highest in the U.S., a $2 billion development could lead to extremely high annual taxes. Estimates from reports range from $100 to $250 million per year. It's because taxes are based on assessed value. Without special treatment, the new stadium would massively increase the property's taxable value. For comparison, newer stadiums like the LA Rams SoFi, they pay around $8 million a year. The Bears argue it's unsustainable. It would hinder financing and make the project unviable. It's unsustainable. It would hinder financing and make the project.
The season 3 House of the Dragon trailer came out.
Oh yeah.
And all of that stuff, and it got put in CBS News
Good.
headlines. It got put in
I haven't
AP
watched it
headlines.
yet.
It got put in all these different places. Everybody was repeating this shit. Guess what? If you asked AI, whether it was Google AI or
It's only going to be
Grok,
3 seasons. Is this
what
the
was
last
the
one?
viewership for the Bad Bunny halftime show? They would have repeated those things
I
because
don't know.
so many people were
I'll look
talking
that
about
up.
it. But it turns out that it was completely untrue. Yep. That got posted by a Bad Bunny fan account right after the Super Bowl ended, when we had no idea what the ratings actually were.
And it got a lot of traction.
It got a lot of traction, and enough people
Therefore,
repeated
Grok thought it was true based on the
So
data
4 have been
of
confirmed.
how many people were interacting with this post. That's
So
all
they've
AI
confirmed
is
4 in
essentially
total.
doing. AI is essentially doing the work that it would take
This
you,
season couldn't
a
have
long
been
time to do.
the last, because the reason why there were supposed to be 2 more episodes in season 2, but because of the writer strike, and budget cuts, they couldn't go back and rewrite the season to make it smaller. Which honestly, in my opinion, I don't know. I feel like we will just get more, and it won't be squeezed. It won't be fucking like imploding on itself in terms of story or plot lines and scenes. So we should. The beginning of the next season should probably be pretty good, pretty crazy. Maybe the first episode is going to be more build up, and then we'll see some crazy shit. But yeah, 4. They wanted to do 5 at first, but I think this story isn't. It's not as what's like. There's not enough of it in the single book because it's not like drawn out. It's like the whole history, not just like the 20 years this show is.
Where were you?
Alicent came to Dragonstone. She will open the gates of the Red Keep and surrender to me.
You cannot trust her. The king has abdicated the throne. A new dawn is coming. A new line of unsullied kings. You are the Queen of Dragons. You have an absolute power.
You know what
within your grasp.
Out of all the arguments that I have for why, or at least had, like when I was still watching the show like fresh, all my reasons why she's, you know, an illegitimate queen or whatever, so the king can change customs so far to make a woman, like have a woman be his heir, but he still has to follow the same customs of the kingdom and what a king has to do, to where he had to marry a new wife right away, even before he wanted to, just so he could get a son. So it's almost like if the king could have done that in the first place, and that's like a thing that a king should be able to do, he could have just done it there.
Yeah, I want the Greens to win.
Yeah. Like, there's no actual legitimate claim for her. Like, whichever way you look at it, the only way that you would have to look at it is, like, literally just because the king said it. Which that's not even how the fucking realm works. Like, the king has to uphold some fucking traditions. He can't just do everything he wants. And like, and season 1 Damon. Let's look at Damon from season 1, not season 2 when he basically got cucked. From season 1 Damon, he's really the only person on their side that I would want to not get destroyed. But that's under the context of cool Damon.
Yeah. That's cuck Damon, dude.
Because it's funny, right? Even, like, I don't know, like, I don't actually hate Alicent, really. She's obviously, like, a bad mom, whatever. Both of them are bad mothers, but, even if I hated her character a lot, she's at least good looking enough for me to not care as much. So it's like, even there. Like, I like Otto's actor. I feel like that's a good character. Aegon's kind of whatever. Apparently he's supposed to get better, but obviously Aemond. Fucking Cole, dude. Legend.
Yo, Cole is the fucking man, dude.
Yeah. Holy fuck, dude.
Soon or late, Rhaenyra will send her new dragons here.
Fuck to everyone.
It would be the end.
This is the moment you become queen.
Just doing it much
Like
faster.
when
in
I
terms
heard
of
the name
compiling
fucking
information on the
Rogue
internet,
Prince,
whether
I
it's
was like,
true
yo,
or
that
not.
sounds sick.
It's not
And
there to tell
how
you if
people
it's
talk
true,
about
it's there to
Damon, like, yo,
compile
that
the
guy's gonna be
information
so
that's available.
cool.
That's it.
Yeah, but it's like when that's
Like,
the first thing that returns with a Google search. Same thing with like
wasn't even
movie
that-
budgets or things like that.
Like that whole storyline
if
was
you
just
ask,
like,
hey,
what
what's
the?
the budget
And
of
and
this
and it's not
movie?
even like the show's
And
fault.
it'll
Like
take it
that's
from a couple sources or compile this data. And even though
like
we
that's
might have
basically
gotten
what he
shit
did
that
in the
actually
book,
reflects that's
as far
not
as I can
true. We
tell.
got
Like
updated
people don't
numbers on
actually
this
know what
budget.
he was doing.
If the majority of the posts it sees say this thing, that's what it'll feed back to you, even if it's not accurate. And I think people take those summaries, whether it's Grok or whatever, and it just you can ask it for a source. Guess what it would tell you? It would if you asked Grok about that Bad Bunny shit during that time, it would have told you multiple reports from USA Today and CBS News and blah 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 say that this is the Bad Bunny thing, but it wasn't true. It wasn't real. It was misreported.
Yep.
During that time, it would have told you multiple reports from USA Today and CBS News and blah 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 say that this is the Bad Bunny thing. But it wasn't true. It wasn't real. It was misreported.
Yep. I mean,
So-
it's just like having a more interactive version of Wikipedia. Did you know how so many people just read Wikipedia to get their talking points, and that's what AI is doing? Like, I know a lot of people do. Like, a lot of people are doing videos based on AI information, and that's it. I'm terrified to do that because how do you know if it's real? How do you know if everything that is spitting out is true? You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
like, the difference is, there is fake bullshit all over the place. There are people that live on fake bullshit as part of their content creation, whether it's political, whether it's just one thing after the other thing after the other thing after the other thing, and their fans get all wound up in whatever. They're just lying to you. Whether it's entertainment space, same fucking thing. Facebook, the boomers on Facebook that fall for these images with some text, no source, whatever,
It's
and they
so
just repeat
bad.
as fact and as truth. That shit happens.
I am shocked at how bad Facebook is. And maybe it's because I haven't been on Facebook much, but like every time I go to Facebook, dude, it's bad. And I'm talking like random shit. Like, I follow a lot of NASCAR stuff recently because I'm following Daytona 500 stuff. I get on Facebook and it's like these stories about Dale Earnhardt Jr. cussing out Bubba Wallace, putting him in line. And it's got like a Photoshop picture of Dale Earnhardt Jr. with his finger like screaming at Bubba Wallace. And you see all these fucking Earnhardt fans are like, hell yeah, his daddy will be proud. I'm like, what? Junior's fucking liberal. What?
Dale Earnhardt Jr. called Bubba Wallace the N-word.
Yeah, dude. Oh, people are eating it up, and I'm like, oh my god, it's so bad. It's unbelievable. Facebook is a shit show.
It's the same thing. There's like, ever since the Black Snape story came out, there have been Facebook groups that have had this. It's now like 6-month-longing narrative about J.K. Rowling suing Warner Brothers to get control of Harry Potter back, and that J.K. Rowling calls out Papa Essiato, and Papa Essiato wrote a letter to J.K. Rowling demand she, accept trans people. It's these wild stories that are not true at all. But
make a lot of money talking about them, though.
I wish that I feel like I have one simple request for everyone in the world, and it's not just don't be retarded. But I feel like that's way too high an ask. I gotta lower my expectations for the rest of the world. Be plain. A Knight of the Seven Kingdoms is a great story of a dude being a good dude trying to play a knight dude, and it's awesome.
It is awesome.
Yep. Good. It's a little more inspiring, than a lot of the other what people think of when they think of Game of Thrones. So. American Man, the OG S tier crew is back. It's 2023 again. This show's been going on too long.
Yeah.
Tiggs for 5. Jeremy, please let me out of my basement. I miss my family.
I'll think about it.
Westward Smile. Why the fuck is Jeremy here?
Because nobody else was available, basically.
He has to show up every once in a while. We cut his health insurance off. Basically.
Yeah, that's it.
Cole Hauser, yo, Jeremy and Ryan, my riggers. Jeremy, Ryan, and I will be curling. You down? Praise Allah.
No, I'll be streaming and grifting.
So apparently there is an Orlando curling club here. And Cole Hauser wants to take us curling when he comes down, teach us the Canadian ways.
I'm sure it's weird.
Curling seems cool to me.
But I'm saying, no, Canada, the Canadian way, it's going to be weird. The only thing
Yeah,
that's not
I mean,
weird about
as long
Canada,
as you're just teaching me curling and not just getting fucked in the ass, that seems to be the Canadian way. But... Keenan, did you ever watch the show Life with Louie? No.
I didn't.
Nicodemus Gore for $2. Doesn't say anything. Thank you, Nicodemus. Orangutan for $10. Howdy, y'all. As some of you know, my 11-year-old husky Miles is battling cancer.
Oof.
Taking him to the vet tomorrow to get checked, asking for prayers. Thanks and hail to you. That sucks.
I saw a lot of people responding to that when you sent it. So obviously, prayers up for you. And the chat will be throwing those up, I'm sure. Sorry to hear that, man. Keep us posted. Keep us posted. Positive vibes. It works. It does work. So that's all.
Yeah, one of the worst things in the world is that our animals don't live as long as we do.
Yes.
And it's not really fair.
It's not. It sucks.
But yeah.
It really
Sorry
is.
you're going through that, man. Maximus for 199. Rate my avatar.
Do you know
Could
what
use
that
some
is?
improvement, but I got to be honest. At least you have one.
Do
At
you
least
know-
I know you went through the effort and did it instead of just being a lazy piece of shit.
Do you know what that is?
It's Brie Larson's feet.
Okay.
Yeah. Callum for 5. Did 28 years Bone Temple do well? I can't get any answers. No one's talking about it. It did not perform well at the box office at all. Let me see if I can. 28 years later, the Bone Temple, the numbers. I think that first look, the people who went and saw it, it sounds like they thought it was really good. But I think that 28 years later, the first one that came out, I think that ruined a lot of people's goodwill. A lot. For perspective, based on what we know about the budget for 28 years later, the Bone Temple was upwards of $60 million, which is not huge, $60 million, but this is what it did at the box office.
Ooh.
$56 million worldwide. It is a catastrophic fucking flop.
Yeah, that's
a
bad.
massive money loser.
That's really
And
bad.
I think it's all based on how that first movie was marketed so well, and then you showed up to the movie and it was a completely different fucking movie. And people really didn't like it. They feel like they got the rug pulled out from under them. And people like me, who got excited for 28 years later, thought it was marketed as a different movie, showed up and was like, no, I don't like this. I wasn't going to give this thing a second chance. I wasn't going to go back and see this one. And I didn't. A lot of other people didn't. And it is a huge failure. Yep. Money-wise.
You get what you deserve.
Cele, Peaky Blinders is great. Try Taboo with Tom Hardy. But Tom Hardy's characters in Peaky Blinders is awesome.
Tom Hardy's one of my favorite actors. So the fact that he's in it, and then there's another guy that I don't know his name. Have you watched Animal Kingdom yet?
You talk about that one that show that used to air on TNT back in the day?
Yeah,
with the 4 boys.
Yeah. Mhm.
And their mom. Yeah. I love that.
Fucking
I love that
great.
show.
But the guy, he's the main star of Animal Kingdom. He's also in Peaky Blinders. I don't know if he's later on in the season. He was he
Yes,
Jay?
yes,
in
yes,
he was
100%. He was
yeah.
Jay in
Yeah.
Yes.
In Animal Kingdom, yeah.
He's
So,
a huge part of Peaky Blinders.
Okay, he's a good actor too.
Michael
So they've
in
got-
Peaky Blinders.
and then so we got some really hell of a cast in Peaky Blinders. So I can't wait to get further into it.
Next to last Starfighter, the penultimate Starfighter. For 2, should I watch Peaky Blinders? Rate my avatar. Your avatar is sick. I like it. And yeah, you
clearly
should.
show- Yeah.
Super Franderman, Ryan, I turned 31 today. For my birthday present, greet me like I messed up your order. Talking too loudly in the cinema. I'm Jeremy, etc. Thanks, Bill. The Super Franderman. Well, happy birthday, Super Franderman.
As would like your avatar.
As would love your avatar.
Mm-hmm.
You like messed up my order.
You can't do
talking
that.
too loudly in a cinema.
I have experienced his orders being messed up, and trust me, he cannot repeat on YouTube what he says.
What do I do in a cinema? Like, I don't feel like I was talking during the movie. It's like before the movie comes out. Like we're just sitting there and I'm making fun of shit that's happened, like a stupid fucking commercial show. Oh great, Nicole Kidman's here again. Can't wait for the Nicole Kidman thing.
It sets a tone. When I hear somebody in the theater making comments that loud during the previews, you're setting a fucking tone that you're going to be an annoying asshole. So I'm already aggravated. I'm like, if this dude can't shut the fuck up during previews, he's going to be a problem during the movie. You're setting a bad tone.
I do bring an aura of negativity around me.
You absolutely do that.
Like an umbrella. I have an umbrella and it's raining on everyone else.
I would fucking hate you if I didn't know you. And I'm sitting in the movies and I hear you making comments about the fucking previews. I'm like, this piece of shit is going to be talking all through the movie. I hate you and I want you. Never mind.
I know myself pretty well, and I hate me too.
Like I want you to not be in the earth anymore. That's the nicest way I can say it. I'm not going to repeat what you said last time I was on the show because you were talking about some fat loser. You were like, I want you to, and I'm like,
oh, that fat NFL guy.
Yeah, like Ryan, don't say that on stream.
My diet's none of your business. I can barely breathe because I'm so fucking fat.
So yeah, I'm just like, yeah, I would hate Ryan if I didn't know Ryan.
Everyone should. The Beast. Aloha, my brother Ryan. Jeremy, the homosexual, and chat. Thanks, The Beast. Callum. I don't know anything about Star Trek, but are all these actors all come off the same short bus? Or any self-aware?
Very few.
A lot of them come off the short bus. A lot of them come off the gay bus. So you could argue they're one and the same. Wake the fuck up, samurai. Crazy that that's allowed to be a username. Did you guys see Limu being called Ricky Tan?
He responded to a tweet. I saw like Steph.
Somebody put him on their Mount Rushmore of people who ruin any movie that they're in. It was like Seth Rogen, Patton Oswalt, Mark Ruffalo, and Simu Liu. And he responded. He's like, "It's an honor to be up there. Some great company." It's like, bro, this dude just seeks out his name on social media all day long.
He's pathetic. He is. Do you have a Mount Rushmore of actors that ruin it? A film for you? Like for me, it's not even about politics so much. Is Daniel Craig would be number one for me. I just fucking hate Daniel Craig. After that, like a lot of them are in the Odyssey at this point. The people that would be on it, like John Leguizamo, who's completely irrelevant. Ellen Page, because it's just like, why would you put Ellen Page in a movie at this point in time? And who would be for? Because like I don't like Seth Rogen at all as a person, but like he was legitimately funny in the 40-Year-Old Virgin, dude. He was legitimately funny then. Yeah. He didn't really ruin Donkey Kong as the voice of Donkey Kong for me. So Mark Ruffalo to me is one of the most I don't understand why he gets cast in anything. I really don't. I don't get it. I know that he was like the Temu version of, Edward Norton. So he got that job because Edward Norton was difficult to work with for Hulk,
It's tough because it's like, have you seen the Zodiac?
The Zodiac with
Jake Gyllenhaal, Robert Downey Jr., and Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
It's tough because even though I think Mark Ruffalo's a retard, I still watch it and think that movie's awesome. You know what I mean? So it's Pedro Pascal. Fucking can't stand Pedro Pascal as a person, and I'm tired of him getting cast in so many things. However, Pedro Pascal in Narcos is fucking awesome. Pedro Pascal as Oberyn Martell is fucking awesome. Like Pedro Pascal's been in some things that I think he's really fucking good. So it's just to each their own. Like I as much as I hate a lot of people, it doesn't necessarily ruin something that they were in that I do like and all that shit. It really doesn't.
No, I mean, that's kind of how I am. But like I said, Daniel Craig, I don't even know. Well, I mean, I know his politics. He dresses like a fucking woman. So we kind of know what his politics are. But it's really not about his politics. I just don't like him as an actor. I don't like his face. I don't like him. You know that scene in Step Brothers where he's like, I just don't like your face. I just want,
Yeah.
Is there anything I can do about No. Just don't like it. That's talking about Daniel Craig. I don't like him. I don't know why.
Well, speaking of things I don't like, Disney Star Wars would fall into that category. And as everyone's been talking about the new trailer for The Mandalorian, isn't it exciting, everybody?
Yay.
Another trailer a week after we got a disastrous trailer for the Super Bowl that everyone mocked and ridiculed and had to hurry up and get another one out. Well, you've got some people who wish that they would have got to make their Star Wars movie who can't shut the hell up about it. And this is all going back to The Hunt for Ben Solo, Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver. And they keep talking about how upset they are that they didn't get to make it, where I think it's one of the best decisions anyone at Disney ever made, quite frankly. Disney axed Star Wars sequel, The Hunt for Ben Solo, without ever asking about the budget or other details, says Soderbergh. It's insane, and we were all frustrated. Steven Soderbergh's continued to open up about his Adam Driver starring scrapped Star Wars movie, The Hunt for Ben Solo. In a new interview, the filmmaker said it was no surprise to read Kathleen Kennedy's Lucasfilm exit interview and hear her frustrations over Disney's axing of the Rise of Skywalker follow-up movie, which would have brought Driver back as the fan favorite Kylo Ren, Ben Solo. We were all frustrated. You know, that was 2.5 years of free work for me and Adam and Rebecca Blunt. Is that all you did for 2 years? 2.5 years, that's all you did was work on a script for something? I don't believe you. When Adam and I discussed him talking about it publicly, I said, look, don't editorialize or speculate about the why. Just say what happened, because all we know is what happened. The stated reason was, we don't think Ben Solo could be alive. And that's all we were told. So there's nothing to do about that, you know, except move on. I made the movie in my head. Just felt bad no one was going to get to see it. I thought the conversation was going to be a practical one. Where'd they go? What is this going to cost? I had a really good answer for that, but I never got to that point. It's insane. We were all very disappointed. Bro.
This is Ryan. Okay, if you are walking down a street, let's call it Martin Luther King Boulevard, and you get robbed, whose fault is that?
Look, if I am maybe unaware of what I'm getting into,
No.
It might be my fault the first time.
If you go to MLK Boulevard and get robbed, you deserve to get robbed if you're that dumb. If you're going
if you went back a second time after getting robbed the first time.
Yes, exactly. If you are working, if you're trying to work for Lucasfilm at this point in time with everything we have known, it's your fault at this point. If you're stupid enough to go work for Lucasfilm after the disaster that we have seen for the past decade from this horrible company and the horrible leadership and the failed projects over and over again, it's at this point, if you're that stupid, I don't have sympathy for you. If you're dumb enough to go down to MLK Boulevard and walk down the street and you get robbed, you're that stupid. I don't have sympathy for you. I don't care. First of all, nobody gives a fuck about Ben Solo. No, I like Adam Driver as an actor. I think he's a really good actor. He's got screen presence. He's really good in everything I've seen him in.
He was actually the N-word really emphatically, which I always appreciate.
So I like him, and I think that he's a really good actor. I have zero interest in a Ben Solo movie, and I think that almost everyone feels that way outside of the Reylo freaks that are out there, which we have already proven that they are not enough to justify a movie of this magnitude. They did you a fucking favor. Trust me, by not moving forward with this project for Steven Soderbergh and for Adam Driver, they did you a massive favor. But the whining and the crying and the pathetic behavior behind it, it's embarrassing. To make Lucasfilm sympathetic, you've got to be really bitch made, and that's how they are right now. They're making Lucasfilm sympathetic.
Yeah, and I kind of have a different... You're talking about Steven Soderbergh walking down MLK Jr. Boulevard and getting robbed. I have a different perspective. To me, this is like the heads at Disney after the failure that was The Rise of Skywalker, the disaster that was the sequel trilogy, burning all of that money and all of the goodwill from fans, and Disney stars being in a terrible place. And these people are coming up to you and be like, hey, you know this guy that we just fucking killed off? We're going to bring him back to life and do another movie about him.
Yep. That
is the Disney executives actually refusing to walk down MLK Boulevard. That is them making the right decision to be like, you know, I've seen what happens down there. I don't think it's a good idea. I'm going to take an Uber, okay? Like, That's them making the right decision and not getting fucking ripped off. Because, yes, the only people that want this are the Raylos and the Weirdos. It's the same people that wanted the Acolyte renewed. It's an insignificant number of people that might make some loud noise on social media every once in a while, but it's a very small number of people. And to those people, just to show how fucking stupid and idiotic and degenerate and nonsensical they are, these are the people that love this character. So they love the Raylo stuff. They love all this. We just saw, if you truly believe there's something to these characters and appreciate them, then fuck, it must have really meant a lot to you when Ben Solo essentially sacrificed himself to save Rey and what that moment means and all of that. That must have meant a lot to you. You want that to get immediately reversed by them bringing him back to life and that moment meaning nothing. And that's who you're dealing with. But guess what? There are people at Lucasfilm that have that same point of view. There are people at Lucasfilm that don't know anything about storytelling, that write for fucking kindergartners and degenerates. His name is Dave fucking Filoni. And apparently, there's always a chance. Because that type of idea probably goes really well. It feels really good to Dave Filoni, the person who can't let any of his characters die, the person who wants to take part in bringing all these different characters back to life because he's a retarded bitch. Dave Filoni and Lin-Wen Brennan could be possibly circling back to the hunt for Ben Solo in the future, which wouldn't surprise me in any way, shape, and form. I hope you do it because I'd love to see another fucking failure at the theaters, especially with Dave Filoni's name on the bottom line.
Well, this actually brings up an interesting discussion from a standpoint of, I think that Mandalorian Grogu is set to be a pretty big flop for them. Not
It's the moment that everybody seems to enjoy. Look at the crowd. They love this. Sunling, though, was the mark, the benchmark. Out on this 1.5-kilometer course today. So Sunling dominant, but the highlight was the pit pooch. Chief of competition has come over to handle the guest.
Now to find the owner, that's the question.
The standings after the first leg of qualification: Sweden are well and truly in front, ahead of the United States of America. Finland recognize that they've got easily 5 competitors who could make their way here. Well, that's true speed. Down the finishing straight. The magnificence of the local wildlife, domesticated.
A quick celebration at the end.
Photo finish. Oh, as this goes up on the big stadium of the Jumbotron, the crowd, a roar of approval from those in the stands.
That was cute. So guess what my problem is?
With what?
With my iron and my exhaustion and everything.
Is it something that I would know of?
Yeah. So I have a malabsorption issue. That's why I don't get nutrients properly.
Well, I know that like vitamins and minerals can help you absorb, but I don't know.
Celiac disease.
Which is what?
Gluten.
Oh, so you need gluten-free stuff?
Not like, she said like she's like it's very likely that like it's celiac, it's not just like a gluten intolerance. She's like, she's gonna send me to a GI person. She's like, but your like test for that, she's like, was like insanely
Like
high.
is that treatable, or it's just something that you have to live with?
Yeah, I just don't. The problem is if you don't eat gluten, then your small intestine's like, okay, cool, I'm good now, and it can relax and absorb shit. But if you're eating the gluten,
No, but like there's no like medication.
well, I'm gonna get an iron infusion, so I can pay for that.
An iron what?
Iron infusion, like IV.
So what does that do?
Well, it's gonna get my ferritin up because that's like one of the main problems. Besides like bloating and like I think she has it. When I googled it like not months ago, but when I saw her and I was googling malabsorption issues with the poo, like my poo's fine. She's like mostly celiac disease is like asymptomatic, but like he probably has it because it can be.
He said he would blame that on pills, but I'm like, you haven't been on the pills that long, and you've been like that my entire life.
And it's like fatty stools, like food ending up in it because it's not being digested properly.
At all. Literally at all.
So, and like his iron's shit now, so and it's all he eats, fucking pasta,
Right.
and like whatever. So I'm Googling it, right? It's like, you know, like whatever, and I'm like, okay, so I can't, like technically, like I'm not gonna go crazy until I see the doctor, and it's like for sure. But it's like, you know, you can't eat fucking bread. And like, you know.
Does, I assume oats have gluten in it, right?
So oats are they're like technically gluten free, but because of cross contamination with things, so I'm gonna have to like look into that because like I'm not gonna stop eating cookies and like French fries.
You're just gonna have to get the get those stupid cookies.
French fries, like with the coating on them sometimes. I'm not gonna stop eating French fries.
What do you mean the coating?
To like make them crispy. So, like,
Oh, so if you just go to a place that puts fries, like they don't like do extra shit with the fries?
Well, the same thing is like if if we go to Five Guys, like do they make do they have onion rings or anything else? Do they put anything else in that fryer? Because they don't have a coating on their fries.
They have multiple fryer things, so I don't know, but maybe.
So that'd be the only thing again. It's cross contamination, right?
Like it's that that sensitive?
So like, I'm glad to have an answer, but like I don't know.
Now she thinks that's actually why?
Yeah.
So you're
like
eating gluten, so you're tired and all that stuff all the time? Like, I don't... To me, that doesn't...
No, because the gluten stops your body from absorbing nutrients. So I could eat 1,000 steaks, and my iron's still going to be garbage, because it's not going to absorb shit. So I've been taking these vitamins and everything, too, and any food I eat, and it's not
So that's why you have to get a direct...
So she goes, even, like, she goes, if this is, like, what I suspect you have, and she goes, oral iron will never get you where you need to be.
Because it still has to be absorbed.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm gonna do one, and then she'll talk to me in 6 months. And
so wait, but why are you getting an iron infusion?
because my fucking ferritin's garbage, and I need to feel better.
So if you had higher ferritin, you'd feel better, but you still wouldn't absorb stuff.
It's like causation, right? So like the only symptoms, except for maybe bloating, which happens now and then.
Dog, you gotta absorb stuff.
From shitty absorption. So I always said, I'm not even joking, I've said this for like 20 years. I'm like, I probably have an absorption issue, but I didn't think like that. I thought it just meant like I shittily absorb iron, but like I shittily absorb everything now, so. It's probably why my hair is so thin and shitty and falling out all the time and doesn't grow, because my body needs to give energy to other parts that are more important than my nails.
So wait, does that mean that your body wouldn't absorb fat? Like if you go to fucking Five Guys and eat like 7,000 pounds of fries, that's like the only benefit if that was true.
No, I feel like, fat's fat. Like this, it said it goes...
But doesn't your body have to absorb the calories? Like, well, if your body wouldn't absorb, so does your body absorb I guess the macros is the calories, or macros is minerals?
I've gained weight and lost weight throughout my life. I don't, you'd have to Google that. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, but it didn't always affect you like this, though, right? I would say it was...
Like the exhaustion part?
Like COVID, I would say. Was it before COVID?
I've always had fucking iron issues, but yeah, like I'd say, and everybody's always like, oh, are you sure it's not Jared? And then I'm like, maybe it's fucking Jared, but like, maybe the fucking vaccine made my shit worse, or made my immune system do something.
Because that's literally when it was.
Yeah.
Like when you started, when it started to be noticeable.
Yeah. I'll Google that too. Like, can the COVID vaccine give you fucking celiac disease? Who the fuck knows? But I have had fucking low
Well,
iron my whole life.
the same people that are gonna tell you no are the same people that say that COVID would give like kids fucking epilepsy.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to be that person in a restaurant that's like, is this gluten free? Are your fryers gluten free?
Well, I feel like the people that say that usually are doing it by. I don't think everyone's like, oh, I have celiac disease, I can't eat gluten. I feel like people are like, oh, I'm cool, I'm not gonna eat gluten.
Well, it depends, because like celiac disease is like here, and then gluten intolerance is like here. It's not like.
But how do you even figure out you have a gluten intolerance?
Well, because usually like you're shitting terribly and you're bloated, and like there's all these like GI issues, but like I don't really have any of those. Mine's over time, after years, it's affected my body where like I'm nutrient deficient. I told Dad, I'm like, he's half lacto, you should get tested.
Well,
Not that he's gonna fucking.
well, gluten.
I don't like if I shot like that, I wouldn't shit until it's fixed. No, but like if they don't fix it, I'm just never shitting again.
He can't help it. It explodes out of his body because it just runs through him, doesn't even fucking
Yeah, but isn't it acidic?
His is probably worse than mine. It's fatty. That's why it like floats.
I thought that was just like fucking oils or some shit. Because when I drink the mineral water, it floats.
Fat's oily, right?
And what does fucking grains have gluten, right?
Yeah, like no bread, no fucking
Beer, right? One that.
That's what I told him. I joked on him. I don't like canning beer anymore, but I'm like, it's kind of how it is with every, like, like if you look at like Jared or Greg or even Dad or whatever, it's like if you have gout, they love red meat, they love beer.
But I've never heard of someone getting gout because of the red meat. It's always people that drink.
Greg's apparently is stress induced. I didn't know.
But he drinks though, doesn't he?
Apparently he doesn't drink too much, so. And he's like, my diet's great. I'm like, your diet can be great. You're still.
I wouldn't believe him. Just like the type of person he is. I feel like I saw him once and he was drinking. No, like, and he goes to parties with fucking Fernando, doesn't he still?
Well, now that he has like a kid, I don't know what he's doing, but.
At least you, assuming that's why, at least you know.
I know, like, going through all these tests and, like, having my heart checked and doing this and doing that, like, I never want there to be, like, something wrong with me, but, like, obviously there has to be a fucking answer for something. So, like, I'm not, like, happy, but, like, at least, like, we're figuring out something. It's, like, it's not normal to feel as exhausted as I do. So, people can blame my diet all they want, but it's probably because I can't fucking absorb anything. I've probably been doing like okay, and especially not having a period anymore. Like it's probably like I would have been totally, I want to say totally fine. Like I would have been like fine all these years, but because of this, my iron, not like hemoglobin iron, but ferritin. So the iron stores are garbage.
Do you think being on birth control fucks up your whatever, the stuff that allows you to get celiac?
What do you mean?
I don't know, because your body's not operating how it should be, like how it's designed to.
I'd have to Google birth control and celiac. Oh, you mean like, is my birth control not working completely? Is that what you mean?
No, I'm saying, is
or
it?
Vice versa?
I'm saying because it's working, your body, like, I'm sure, like like if it's doing it to that, it's like fucking like the pain, the nerve pain makes me, at minimum, makes you tired for sure, but it also can do other shit to you, like the things you read. But it's also like when they tried to make fucking heart medicine, that's where they got Viagra.
Yeah, you finally got an accident.
So it's like weird. It's like weird shit. And like, do women go on birth control as long as you do? For
ideally you don't go on it, especially after like a certain year. There's like more chance of blood clots and cancer and whatever the fuck
So if
else.
there's the chance of that, if they can cause cancer, then it can cause probably anything. And they probably haven't tested it for people. Hey, go twice as beyond or twice as long as what we recommend or where we stop or recommending it. Do twice that. I'm sure they don't have like crazy testing for that, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, and I feel like there's certain things too where it's like if your iron shit is so low, like it can enlarge your spleen because it's like working hard. And there's just so many like obviously like our whole body like you need to have like everything works together to make it like function.
Yeah, like I don't know what I'm trying to figure out, but like to cure one thing, just by I guess by default before like we can create like some crazy magical technology, it's going to affect something else because everything is connected, I guess.
No, it's like it's like even like with me, who knows? Maybe like I took an Advil earlier.
Oh,
I'm not saying this,
yeah.
but like, what if because my intestines and stomach or whatever are like.
Well, you wouldn't be absorbing the pills as much, right?
Right? So like that's what I was saying about the birth control. Like maybe if I wasn't with Jared and I was with someone that could actually like procreate, maybe my birth control wouldn't even work. Like I don't fucking know. Who knows?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, because like you have to absorb the pill, right? Jared can't have kids.
Why?
His vasectomy.
Oh, so it's like super low percentage.
Yeah. So it's like I don't take like birth control not
For
get
that.
pregnant from
Okay.
Jared. I take it just for my so like more shit doesn't, you know, more adhesions and lesions and shit. But yeah, who knows? I'll have to. Hopefully, it doesn't take too long to talk to the gastro.
See how that condition it's only negative, so like you can't even just go have fun and eat a lot.
What, mine?
Like the celiac disease, it's not like you're not gonna be able to gain weight.
I don't think that like can you Google it right now? Because I don't know. Like I don't know about that.
No, I don't.
Like I know weight loss is a sign of it, but
Celiac is at C.
Yeah.
Not SC.
No, CE. Sorry.
Disease what cause weight gain?
Like like the celiac like absorb fats easily or something like that.
What are carbs, fat, and protein? Is that macro or micro? Micronutrients or the vitamins? I think.
I don't know macros and micros. It's a P. Yeah.
Yeah, so I hate fucking touch keyboards. I hate how it goes to it. I want to go there to go down, but I hate
fucking
it.
AI shit.
Like, just look at this. The atrophy of the intestine. Okay. So I guess it affects. It's almost like, I don't know, if you're putting the fucking thing on your skin. If whatever of your skin.
If you have Vaseline on your skin and then you try to moisturize your
Well, no, it's like if your skin didn't have the wasn't working properly and didn't have the things to absorb things like that.
Your shit's gonna make no difference.
Yeah, so like I guess if you put it on there, I guess it wouldn't be exposed to the elements, but it wouldn't be getting moisturized externally anymore.
Which is why, like, essentially taking iron supplements is useless because it's not gonna make a difference.
I wonder if like maybe like you could have like put it under your tongue so it gets absorbed through there. Or it's specifically in the intestinal lining. It sounds like.
Yeah, I don't know how much stomach is involved, but it sounds.
Well,
like
what I'm saying is because you can put it under your tongue, right?
Well, that's why the IV infusion is good
Because it's somewhere else.
All the other stuff, right? So she said she goes like you could. She goes because I don't think it's just like a dye thing, because your thing's so high, and I think this is what your issue is. She goes like, you know.
Yeah, numbers like that for like maybe if you're like 800 pounds, that would make sense. A number's not hard.
Yeah, when she said it, she goes, okay, so she goes to your antibodies, and I remember the chick was like, well, you gotta pay for it. She's like, there's 3 antibodies to check. Remember that one? When she fucking ripped it out of my arm
The
last
two?
week? 2 of them were you had to pay for, and 1 was free.
Okay.
I'm like, okay, we'll just do the free one. And I asked the doctor on the phone, I'm like, just to make sure, like, did you get all the information you need? She's like, oh yeah, like, don't pay for anything unless the GI doctor tells you to. She goes, but like, your levels are very high. I got the information I needed.
So like the person that told you that before was just carelessly telling you or didn't care?
Maybe the other two antibodies like aren't needed to find out like the answer. Maybe it's for like something else. Is this good? Is this right?
I think well, when you put it down, it will be like slightly before or after the 0, so just add or subtract.
Add 1,
I think sometimes it's 5 depending on how broken it is.
Yeah, what I thought. So I'm like, oh no, like I eat like chips and stuff with my hummus. And I went in and looked at the back of my chips first, the blue bag, and it's like rice flour and corn something, and I'm like, oh shit, I'm like, that's good. I turn it over, it says gluten-free at the top. I was like, okay, cool.
So like
But there's certain things that are gonna suck.
Like just say since I ate them yesterday, would tater tots have gluten in it?
Those are the crispy stuff. Because it's gonna be like flour and everything. So like both chicken, breadcrumbs.
So that's not like just like on the outside. It's actually like they put something on it.
For the outside, but it's potatoes are fine, but it's what they have on it, right?
So like pub sour would be fine, assuming.
It can, because apparently some spices or something, but also like they can't promise that it hasn't touched something else there because if.
But is so you basically have a peanut allergy?
Yeah, but I'm not gonna like die. It's just like.
Just.
And because I don't really have any like of those like. In my opinion, my fatigue and whatever is because I'm lacking nutrients. It's not because of like a direct celiac. Like if I eat bread, I'm not gonna go shit my pants. You know what I mean? It's not like a lactose intolerance or whatever. Where like dad might be different. So mine's more like, you know, if I didn't eat great and I was eating more gluten than I should, and then I'm not absorbing nutrients, maybe it's gonna go back down again. But
So like. Even here, I just typed it in just to see, and it says contamination as well.
yeah, well that's so like yours, like with the canola oil, but you've already contaminated it with the tater tot, the balloons, whatever they're called, the corns.
Well, if you want, that's a good that we still have 2. I said keep one, just if I want to do fucking
so that's the thing,
crispy
where it's
chicken.
Like, there's a lot of things where it's like.
If I bought gluten-free flour,
Yeah, fine.
I can make you those chicken things.
Yeah. So that's what I mean, right? So it's like. There's like chocolate. I can't eat like granola bars and stuff and other stuff. Like dill pickle chips and whatever else. So I'll have to Google the fuck out of that.
Oh. Dog, you gotta build the fucking Star Destroyer.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Dog, make your own butter, dog.
What's another word for a warning? Like if you see like, you know how certain colors in the animal kingdom sort of like trigger something in the other animals, and they're like, holy shit, that's weird. I gotta not go over there.
Okay.
Like, what word would you use for that? Like, warning isn't the right word, because obviously the potential predator isn't warning the prey.
Oh. I don't know. What are you building right?
Oh, I have to get the side wall. I have to get it correct because since it's on an angle, I can't just place pieces to connect it to the main structure. I have to actually find specific points on the beam where it will fit. So that's what I'm doing right now. So I have to so like it's basically random, right? It's hard to plan for it. So out of this entire fucking strip right here, there's probably like 10 points where it actually can latch on to something, which is fucking annoying, but
Say random. It seems like you're putting that stick out.
yeah, so since like I said, since the beam is on an angle and Lego deals obviously in right angles, so like 90 degrees is basically like the only thing that I'm working with right now. It's all 90-degree angles instead of a wedge shape, so I have to find particular spots that it fits. So yeah, it basically is random.
Oh, oh.
Wow, that just by luck happened to line up perfectly. Oh, that's a bit too. So that's two that just happened to line up perfectly. Damn dog.
Damn. You're gonna thank God, dog?
Yeah. I'll have to watch out when I cross the street today because I'll be extra unlucky. Yeah, thank you, Lord. Here, I'll play a song for him.
Nice.
Yo, that is crazy.
Music is this?
Chant of the Church of the Roman Byzantine Empire. I don't know if it's like
Nice.
official, but sung in Latin. If you were to guess of the Latin languages, which one would you think? Let's say if you went to any of the countries that speak Latin languages, which ones would actually be able to understand proper Latin the most?
Spain.
You think Spain?
Yeah, so.
What would make you say that?
I don't know. Like a pretty old country or whatever. Like a lot of Latin people there.
Do you know which country has the oldest Latin language, other than obviously Latin itself? So I'll just ask you, where did Latin come from? Like, what would be the birthplace of Latin?
Bro, I don't know. I don't know anything about history or anything like that.
Well, do you know what empire primarily spoke, or I guess like basically only spoke Latin? And where's that? Latin started to sort of morph into Italian either almost or around 1,000 years before modern day Spanish came around. So like it took way longer to morph into Spanish, which is one reason why it's so similar, because obviously the Roman Empire went all the way there. Yeah, I didn't actually realize that it was so far apart. Apparently, Prince Andrew got arrested. What do you say?
For the Epstein stuff?
Yeah. I don't know how it took that long. Like it was like not even like hard to find, but like there's many cases of him like crazy.
Is under arrest. The brother of the king has just been arrested over his association with Jeffrey Epstein. This is the first major arrest in the Epstein case since President Trump arrested Epstein himself, as well as Ghislaine Maxwell years ago. Then, back in America, hundreds of millions of gallons of sewage flow into the Potomac as DC's water chief touts the utility's DEI hiring practices, and CNN gets ready to air a documentary on how the real threat facing America after the assassination of Charlie Kirk is actually conservatives. You cannot make it up. I'm Michael Knowles. This is the Michael Knowles Show. Another left-wing woman is doing more anti-ICE terrorism, this time in Kansas City. We'll get to that if we have time. First, though, I want to tell you about Helix Sleep. Go to helixsleep.com/Knowles. Very important to prioritize your sleep. Sometimes you can't. You're on the road, you're working late, you're filming episodes of Bar Fight. But when you can, you want to make sure you have the right mattress. Finding the right mattress does not have to be complicated. Our sponsor, Helix, makes it super easy with their straightforward sleep quiz, which matches you to the perfect mattress based on your subscription agreement under the Bush administration. So we've been waiting. We say, when is one of these associates, Leon Black or Les Wexner or whoever, one of these associates going to be arrested? And there was an arrest, and it's the most prominent person probably in the entire Epstein files. At least the most prominent person who had a real, serious, tight, long-standing connection with Epstein. And that is Prince Andrew, brother of King Charles III. Now, a lot of people are going to be tempted to cheer this news. I think this arrest is, in fact, very cynically motivated to make you all cheer the supposedly good news. I would urge a little bit of caution here for conservatives and nationalists and even just ordinary normal people. I would urge a little bit of caution. Because I think this is kind of a distraction. Prince Andrew was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Now, it's not specifically for like raping a kid or trafficking a kid or whatever. The clearest allegation against Prince Andrew is it seems that he did have a sexual relationship with this woman, Virginia Giuffre, possibly when she was 17 years old, not 18 years old. Seems like it. They settled out of court for some millions of pounds, but there was no admission of liability, and Virginia Giuffre has retracted claims against other people, so even that one is a little bit unclear. But in any case, that's not what he was arrested for. He was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Ostensibly, that was for passing information to Jeffrey Epstein while Prince Andrew was a UK trade representative. In any case, this involves potential life imprisonment. He was arrested on his birthday, a rough birthday present for Prince Andrew. And the question on a lot of people's minds, I think, is what does the king have to say about this? Did the king do this? Did his brother send the cops to go arrest his brother? Did the king know about this at least and let it happen? The king says no. King Charles says, I've learned with the deepest concern the news about Andrew Mountbatten Windsor and suspicion of misconduct in public office. He doesn't even say Prince Andrew because he was stripped of his royal titles. He doesn't even say my brother Andrew, says Andrew Mountbatten Windsor. In this, as I've said before, the police have our full and wholehearted support and cooperation. Let me state clearly, the law must take its course. As this process continues, it would not be right for me to comment further on this matter. Meanwhile, my family and I will continue in our duty and service to you all. Charles Rex. So, it seems he didn't know about it. But he's saying, no, it's totally fine for the police to just go arrest a senior member of the royal family and my brother on royal property. That's totally fine. It's really good. This needs to be carried out. Okay. First of all, for conservatives, for people who think that the monarchy has served generally a useful purpose in England over the many centuries, for people who are not radical leftists, who are not radically opposed to the monarchy as an institution, who recognize that King Charles I and King Charles II, and maybe even King Charles III, were a lot better than Oliver Cromwell, who realized that maybe, along with our founding fathers, the greater threat to liberty than the threat of a king might be the threat of a mob in a democracy taken too far. As our founding fathers agreed, even as they went to war with King George III. In any case, you have to ask yourself, than Oliver Cromwell, who realized that maybe, along with our founding fathers, the greater threat to liberty than the threat of a king might be the threat of a mob in a democracy taken too far. As our founding fathers agreed, even as they went to war with King George III. In any case, you have to ask yourself, is this arrest of Prince Andrew really about justice? This is for supposed state or financial crimes 26 years ago. Not even really touching on the underage girl sex stuff, but obviously some of the sex stuff is involved. That's the only reason any focus is on Andrew right now. I have an unpopular opinion, but it happens to be correct. And here it is. Here's my Norman Rockwell meme unpopular opinion. I think that arresting the king's brother is less about justice than it is a cynical evasion of justice, because the British authorities are arresting the king's brother over suspicion of a crime that might have been committed while this guy was maybe committing another crime, even though he settled with the supposed other crime out of court without admitting liability, and that's all happening while the UK authorities let Pakistani rape gangs run wild throughout the entire country for decades, raping 12-year-old, 13-year-old English girls by the bushel basket, to the point that the authorities were actually telling people to stop looking into it because these parts of England became effectively no-go zones and they didn't want to deal with it. Pardon my skepticism when all of a sudden the UK authorities come in a unprecedented way to arrest the brother of the king. We've never seen this happen in any of our lifetimes, and there's really no precedent for it in English history. A real threat to the English system of government, which is a little different than the American system of government, but we get our government from the English. They go in there, they do all that, ostensibly in the name of justice, especially for the victims of Jeffrey Epstein, and they're going to let the Pakistani rape gangs that they keep inviting in, please, the doors are open. Well, come on here, blokes, let me just, roll out the red carpet for you, get your spot of Earl Grey tea. Come on here, yeah, have any of our daughters, please. They just ignore that for decade upon decade upon decade. I think this is weak stuff. I'm not defending Prince Andrew. He's a deeply disreputable, degenerate human being. He's always had that reputation. However, I think he's a scapegoat here because he's pathetic. He looks pathetic. His behavior is abhorrent and disgraceful. He's been disowned by his family. He got fired by his mom. He's been stripped of his name. He's the most pathetic figure in the entire country. He's a white man. That's the one identity group that you're allowed and even encouraged to deride and hold in contempt. He's just a scapegoat for an issue that the UK authorities obviously don't take all that seriously because they intentionally, wittingly neglected the Pakistani grooming gangs for decades, and they keep inviting these people in. There was a news story in the UK just a week or two ago about how we need to make the Cotswolds less white, meaning we need to invite more of the same kinds of people who are raping British girls for decades into more of the country. I just don't buy it. Sorry, I know everyone's going to be out for blood because Andrew's the perfect scapegoat. I think this is weak stuff. I think this is a cynical way to evade actual justice in the Epstein case and at a deeper level throughout the UK. Conservatives and nationalists and normal people who just kind of like their country, especially in the UK, they should be very, very reluctant to celebrate this. Okay, back to America. We have in our swampy national capital the worst sewage spill in U.S. history. 240 to 300 million gallons of sewage just flooded the Potomac. Here is what PBS, this is liberal public broadcasting, has to say about it.
Why is there a lot of in the Potomac River right now? Well, a 1960s era sewer pipeline northwest of the nation's capital collapsed in January, flooding the iconic river with millions of gallons of wastewater. And what's in that wastewater? Well, the pipeline that collapsed is a 54-mile sanitary sewer system called the Potomac Interceptor. It moves raw sewage and household wastewater from Maryland and Virginia to a wastewater treatment plant in southwest Washington, D.C. According to D.C. Water, more than 243 million gallons of that wastewater has flowed into the river since the rupture occurred. The majority spilled out in the first 5 days and put some not-so-healthy things into the water. A week after the spill, water quality sampling found E. coli near the site to be more than 1,000 times what the EPA considers safe for swimming. Gross. E. coli levels have significantly dropped in the weeks since, but health officials still recommend avoiding contact with the river for both humans and pets.
And pet, not even good enough for pets. The Potomac has been poisoned. The river in Washington, D.C. is swampier than ever. Tons of E. coli, human excrement, sewage, hundreds of millions of gallons of that sewage. Worst sewage spill in American history. Hey, who's running the D.C. water utility?
You know, when I arrived at DC Water, this was an organization that looked very similar to our industry. It was predominantly, you know, white male at the top, but this is a utility that, you know, more than 70% people of color work at this utility. And I really believe, and I still believe, and it has been fantastic. The outcomes have been fantastic. But the people at the top, the executives, the chiefs in that C-suite, they should look like the employees that they serve and that they work with. And the same thing with the community. And so my executive team, you know, looks exactly like the community. It looks like the employees, the staff, you know, be it people of color, women, men, and it's just a fantastic team that has come together to do a lot of great things here at DC Water and in the community for the customers.
DEI strikes again, this time striking at the heart of our nation, the imperial capital, now absolutely fetid and disgusting with hundreds of millions of gallons of human excrement. Okay, I think we have to examine our first principles here. This guy comes in, what's his name? David Gaddis, the CEO. He comes in, he says there are too many white people running this utility. We need to get rid of the white people. The white people are very, very bad. So he gets rid of the white people and he brings in non-white people, and then the utility collapses in the most spectacular way we've ever seen in the United States. This is not to say that non-white people can't run a water utility. Presumably they could. This is to say, however, that perhaps expertise in running water is to be preferred in the C-suite rather than skin color. This is further to question the premise that the C-suite of an organization or a public utility should physically resemble the lower level employees. I don't even know how to argue against that, because the initial claim is such a non sequitur. It's kind of like arguing against, you know, I had eggs for breakfast, purple scooter, flamma ding dong. Like there's actually no connection whatsoever between the premise and the conclusion, and so I'm not even sure how to argue against it. But if the idea was that his premise was going to lead to excellent water utilities, well, that obviously hasn't happened, and so his premises are wrong. A reminder also that all the diversity stuff, we were talking about this yesterday with Jeremy Carl, who's up for a top State Department job, and Chris Murphy in the Senate, Democrat, and Cory Booker accused him of being a white nationalist. And they accused him of believing in the evil great replacement theory. And the evil great replacement theory, of course, is that it's an evil, terrible conspiracy theory that holds that there is a political project afoot to reduce the proportion of white people in a given society. And the difference, of course, between that and diversity, equity, and inclusion is that diversity, equity, and inclusion is just the noble, wonderful political project to reduce the portion of white people in a given society. So some would say they're the exact same thing. It's just DEI, viewing that project favorably, is good, and the Great Replacement Theory, viewing that very same project unfavorably, is an evil, terrible lie and a conspiracy theory. In any case, the way that the libs were able to sell DEI to the ordinary normie voter was to say, it's not that really big a deal. You know, look, we like brown people, we like women, we like homosexuals, we like whatever, and so we're just gonna force them in. We don't think there are enough of them, and so we're gonna pick an arbitrary number, and that's how many of them we want in. And yeah, we're gonna have to unjustly discriminate against white people and men, but you know, it's okay, isn't it great? Because then we'll get more of those people we like. And you know what? It's no big deal. Nothing's really gonna change. There can be real consequences to this. Hundreds of millions of gallons of excrement coming to a town near you, whether literally or figuratively coming to a town near you when you reform your political order on unjust premises such as this kind of discrimination. Okay, speaking of bad government, Zohran Mamdani just admitted that he killed 16 New Yorkers. I think the number actually rose to 20 during the recent freeze. No one's really reporting on this, but it was as clear an implicit admission as ever we saw. First, though, speaking of death and life, I want to tell you about Preborn. Go to preborn.com/Knowles, KNW. AP reporting, very, very liberal news outlet, the Associated Press, reporting Zohran Mamdani reboots homeless encampment sweeps in New York City. They're kind of playing this down a little bit. Zohran Mamdani reboots. Who's rebooting? This is kind of fun. It's like the latest Marvel movie. Homeless encampment sweeps in New York City. What do you mean reboot? Why's he got to reboot it? Oh, because if that headline were honest, it would say Zohran Mamdani reverses his own policy to stop removing homeless encampments in New York City. But wait a second. It's February. It's February 19th. Zohran Mamdani's been in office for like 5 minutes. So that's actually a pretty big news story. There was a policy. He came in and enacted a new policy. He reversed the old policy. He put in his new policy. And then something happened. And then he's now rebooting the old policy. Like 5 seconds later, what happened? Must have been pretty dramatic, whatever happened. Oh, right. He killed 20 New Yorkers. Within just a few days, he killed 13. By leaving these homeless out on the street, he let 13 freeze to death and 3 overdose. I guess 3 or 4 more died in the days that followed. A reminder that Zohran's policy, which was sold as compassion, it's compassionate to let schizophrenics and drug addicts live on the street. It's compassionate to let them be exposed to the elements. It's compassionate to let them kill themselves with drugs and rape each other and mug each other. And it's compassionate to let innocent, normal, law-abiding New Yorkers have to deal with people who are at least crazy and possibly criminal wherever they go in the city. That's compassionate, right? Turns out it's not compassionate to anybody. But don't let him live this down. This was Zohran Mamdani campaigning just a few months ago.
Done since the start of the administration. Thousands of requests have happened since 2024, but no one has been offered permanent housing. And the data from May was 114 were offered construction. Will you continue to see they were asking you to come?
No. There it is. No, I will not sweep the homeless. This old policy under the Adams administration, going back further, no, not going to do it. And he realized he was wrong like that. Same thing with his economic policies. He already doesn't have money for his policy. Do not let them take the spotlight off Mamdani. Mamdani's win was heralded as a great sign for Democrats come November. We're headed toward a blue wave.
Dog,
Americans are sick of Trump and these conservative policies.
when you cook food, what oil do you always use?
Guy,
Like, do you ever fry anything, or like?
the young, new, cool,
I guess you don't have a fryer.
has failed and admitted that he's failed.
I don't have a fryer.
Because I just tried using canola oil for fries instead of vegetable oil, and it tastes way
Because he
better.
killed a bunch of people in like a month.
Not way better, but it's a clear
That's what
upgrade.
Democrats can promise you in November. What they can promise you in November is failure, poverty, death, and excrement.
Of
in your
olive
wage.
oil.
That's what they're going to promise you, okay? And they're going to do it fast.
Yeah, that's what I use for pan frying.
Now, given all of the real factual disadvantages that the Democrats have, because Trump is doing very well, the Republicans are doing very well on just practical policies, and the Dems, are leaving you with sewage and death. How are the Democrats going to spin things come November? Probably the most disgusting display I've seen from the Democrats in years. CNN is actually trying to tell you that the conclusion from the assassination of Charlie Kirk that we should all draw is that the real threat to America comes from the conservatives.
For the past several months, I've been working on a special project examining the growing influence of Christian nationalism in America. If you're not familiar, Christian nationalism is an ideology rooted in the belief that our country was founded as a Christian nation and that our laws and institutions should reflect Christian values.
Put a pause here.
In the lead up to...
So it's this crazy belief. Christian nationalism is the crazy belief that America was founded as a Christian nation. Could you imagine, as if America were founded by a ship full of extremely zealous Christians who called themselves pilgrims, and then more ships of extremely zealous Christians called themselves Puritans, said that the country would be a model of Christian charity in a shining city on a hill, for instance, a self-conception of America that would be consistently reaffirmed up to and including through the presidency of Ronald Reagan, who recited those very same words in the 1980s. You know, the kind of country that says, like, in God we trust on our money, or in God do we trust in our national anthem. The kind of country that, say, I don't know, the founding fathers would have described as being founded on the principles of Christian morality and sharing a common religion. For instance, the kind of country that would be founded with a constitution that recognized established Christian churches in multiple U.S. states. For instance, just hypothetically, could you imagine that possibility? Please pardon the lengthy diatribe. Just want to point out, by her own definition, Christian nationalism is like the only proper way to view the American political project. She goes further on Christian nationalism even than I do, albeit out of ignorance. Okay, keep going.
My hour-long documentary this weekend, we're going to bring you a preview of what you'll see, starting off with the assassination of Charlie Kirk last year. Experts say it was a pivotal moment for the movement and an occasion where the tragedy of his loss unified Christian nationalists and the Trump administration as they honored him.
September 21st, 2025.
America is a nation in grief, a nation in shock, and a nation in mourning. Charles James Kirk was heinously murdered.
That young man. I forgive him.
Charlie Kirk, a conservative activist and prominent Christian nationalist, was assassinated. It became a rallying call for those who believed in his message.
Our greatest evangelist for American liberty became immortal.
And it was a call to action.
My charge to all of you, put Christ at the center of your life as he advocated for giving his.
Memorial service was one of the most potent examples of the shift in our culture we're experiencing right now, where a large segment of American Christians are being activated by these ideas, radicalized.
Put a pause. There it is. You're waiting. So you see this guy, this complete loser. You don't know if he's a loser at first. You think maybe he's saying, look, this was a big shift in our culture. This is a big shift in our, I agree. I was there. I was there at Charlie's memorial service. I was there at Erica's beautiful speech. I was
Damn,
there
dude, I think
when
that
the
just.
entire government
I think this is
came
going to
out
be
and
a lot.
they gave these beautiful evangelistic memorials for Charlie. It was just absolutely gorgeous. I was there. It says this was a pivotal moment. And you say, okay, go on. For radicalization. I say, what a freaking loser. These people, it's unbelievable. You almost couldn't make it up.
Seems like this is turning out pretty decent right now.
The takeaway from Charlie's memorial service, from the assassination of Charlie Kirk, is that the real threat is conservatives. Hold on, wrap it up, CNN, and then I'll get to what this means.
That say that they are the persecuted ones, and that they need to stand up for Christians' rights.
It's just crazy that, Charlie Kirk and the people like him would ever imagine that they were the persecuted ones.
After a leftist LGBT activist shot Charlie Kirk on television, on stream, in front of hundreds or thousands of people, after the same kind of LGBT left-wing assassin who has repeatedly targeted and attempted and threatened and tried to kill a lot of conservatives over the last decade, after one of them actually pulled it off, killed one of the most gracious guys in American politics, one of the great coalition builders, who just tried to talk it out and have civil discourse, and who was very, very effective. After that guy was slain, and then his heroic wife shows up on stage, and along with the entire Trump administration, practically, but led by Charlie's heroic wife, gets up there and encourages what? Retribution, violence, vigilantism, like the left would be encouraging, like the left constantly perpetrates? No. Encourages Christian virtue as a response. Unbelievable. Unbelievable beauty. I mean, we were all tearing up at least, or crying in the room. And it wasn't just Erica. You hear Pete Hegseth there. You heard the Secretary of State, the Vice President, the President, on and on and on. The entire room encouraging Christian virtue as a response to the left killing one of our leaders, then celebrating killing one of our leaders, and encouraging killing more of our leaders, as well as ordinary rank-and-file members. And the grieving widow, the organization that the guy founded, and the entire Trump administration encourages Christian virtue as a response. And CNN comes out with this putrid, disgusting documentary, far more toxic than whatever excrement is in the Potomac right now. And they say, actually, you know what? After one of us shot Charlie Kirk, and then we all celebrated, you know what we need to conclude? That conservatives are the real threat. These people make me want to vomit. And how do we respond to this? There's a real key in here. There's a real key, which is the expert, so-called, says, you know, when Charlie Kirk was shot, this was a pivotal moment. There was this unity around what? Christian nationalism. Let me tell you something. If you don't like Christian nationalism, wait till you see un-Christian nationalism. You don't like the religious right, wait until you see the irreligious right. Because you're not going to like that, I promise you. Promise you. But they said there was this moment of unity, and we had to stop it. The Democrats had to stop it, the liberal activists had to stop it, the liberal media had to stop it, demons, I think, had to stop it. Literal demons had to stop it. They didn't like that unity. And then what does the right do? The right reacts to that, and the right is always infighting, and then there are all these jealous, jockeying people who are always, and it's just constantly true on the right, they're always just jockeying for position, sometimes motivated by ideology, often just motivated by personal gain, and everyone's always fighting with each other, and you know that's not my MO. I try not to get involved in that, because it's a lose-lose. The people who are always trying to do the infighting, they love it when you talk about that. That's what they want. And the people who don't just do it for attention, but the ones who actually are doing it for ideological struggles, there's no benefit to coalitional unity if you talk about it. You don't want to give these people what they want. You especially don't want to give CNN what it wants. Keep your eyes on the prize. Because the left recognizes that unity in the wake of Charlie's assassination, which we had, at least for a little bit, and maybe I think in the real world we actually substantially do still have that kind of unity, that kind of focus, that kind of clarity of purpose, that kind of clarity of who opposes us. Very, very potent. And they're trying to take it down. And their real issue is not even with Charlie Kirk or Erica or TQUSA or Pete Hegseth or Marco Rubio or J.D. Vance or Donald Trump. You know who their real issue is with? It's the subject of the documentary. Their real issue is with Christianity. Christianity is a guiding political principle, which means that their real issue is with Christ. Their real issue is with God. The Dems see very clearly what they have to do to win in November. We should see that clearly too. We should recognize whatever factional, I don't like this, I don't like this person, I don't like that candidate, I don't like this broadcaster, I don't whatever. If it's contrary to common purpose, just ignore it. Just ignore it. And move on and keep your eyes on the prize and stay focused. Now, speaking of clearing the air, I want to tell you about my absolute favorite air purifier, and that is Rabbit Air. Go to rabbitair.com. I cannot possibly recommend Rabbit Air's 6-stage filtration system enough. I love it. So first of all, I'm a cigar smoker. This really matters to me. We'll get to that in a second. Second, though, I do not smoke cigars in my home. I smoke cigars in my studio, I smoke cigars in my car, I smoke cigars in a lot of places, but not in my home. And yet, I insist upon having multiple Rabbit Airs, the A3, in my home. It is the best air purifier. Sweet little Lisa loves it. It's amazing the kind of stuff it pulls out of the air. It's great. Now, when we're talking about cigar smoke, the Rabbit Air is perfect if you were a cigar smoker. It doesn't just move the smoke, it captures it. It is engineered to trap and reduce the air of heavy smoke particles and lingering odors, ensuring that your room stays fresh long after you've smoked. The new dual hive activated carbon filter provides superior air contact, enhanced odor reduction. It's just amazing. I've used Rabbit Air for years. I have never been a big believer in air purifiers. Rabbit Air convinced me. Highly, highly recommend for your wife, for all the non-smoke obstructing police. Renee Good. Speaking of left-wing violence, mention this at the top of the show.
From the beginning, Hail number 3 brought a tear to my eye. Rest in peace to the Intimidator, Dale Earnhardt. 25 years, man. 25 years. I still can't believe it. Your Barmy says, Roland didn't listen. Definitely got a chance. Bird Up says, unlike Roland, I have a shot. Jeremy Q. Stop. I'm not gay no more. The Royal We says, Charlie wouldn't find being murked by Israel funny. I don't care what you're offended by. I'm not gay no more. Your Barmy says, Jeremy the Wise, chat obvious wrong. Blind Doll Face says, Griff taxes paid. Louise says, crying, this is not okay. Jake Lovecraft says, James Fish back for Florida governor. I mean, I know that that's like a popular kind of internet choice. I know Asmund Gold kind of said a lot of that, but I haven't done much research on the guy. I think Byron Donalds is in very good position to run away with this one, but we'll see. Manny says, Tucker's just a grifter. I would never support someone like that. MJ Jorgi says, Dale's death changed racing forever for the good. Hans device now warned by all stops what happened to Dale from happening ever again. R.I.P. Dale. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, we have not had a death in a major NASCAR series since Earnhardt died. If I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong about that. But so that's really Dale Earnhardt's legacy, is that he basically has prevented so many deaths since then. So, okay, next up on the agenda, what is this? Hang on. What is this? When was Trump ever called a racist? Hang on.
Where or when does the president believe he's been falsely called racist?
What kind of question is this?
You're kidding, right?
I'm Don Lemon. The President of the United States is racist.
He is a tried and true, dyed-in-the-wool racist.
I know what Mr. Trump is. He is a racist.
What Trump has always been was a rich, malevolent, really racist man.
We now have a president of the United States who is a racist.
Do you believe President Trump is a racist?
Yeah. No question.
Donald Trump. What's it say? I think he's a racist. He is a racist.
The president is a racist. Racist.
Racist. Racist.
Racist. Racist.
I am the least racist person you've ever met.
Nobody's less racist than I am. Nobody.
Racist.
Racist.
I am the least racist person you've ever met.
The fact that some clown decided to ask that question is absolutely insane. I do love this idea, and I played this on Main Event the other day. By the way, somebody put this one in the Snake Pit. Quality Leering Center put this in the Snake Pit. For my old school wrestling fans, it don't get no better than this right here. It doesn't get any better than this. It's so great. It's so great. Oh, man. I freaking love the internet. I really do, man. Oh, that's just the most accurate thing. You got Trump walking in with a bandaged ear. Donald Trump will be next, ladies and gentlemen. But no, I gotta find this clip that I saw of Trump the other day. I played it on Main Event. I gotta find it though. It's super funny. And it's just like this montage of Trump saying that no one knows more about, and you could just insert things. No one knows more about, you know, X, Y, or Z than me. And he just keeps saying different things over and over and over again. Nobody knows more about this. Nobody knows more about this. Where does it go? I gotta start doing a better job of keeping up with my bookmarks. Sometimes my bookmarks just are still out of whack, even when I try to organize them. It still ends up being very unorganized. Here it is right here. Here it is. Here it is. Oh, fuck me. Did it just disappear? Fuck. Let's see. Of course it just fucking disappeared. I don't know where it went. All right, well, we'll go back to it here in just a minute. See what I'm saying? Twitter's always fucking up. John Wayne says racist equals the magical word that no longer works. Honestly, we're reaching a point where none of these words have any meaning whatsoever. We're reaching a point now where pedophile means nothing. Because everybody gets, they call everybody one. Every single person is the PDF file. It's to the point where everybody that they don't like, that somebody doesn't like, is just a pedo. And it's like, dude, you understand what that means? You understand how horrible people are that are accused of that? It's literally the worst fucking thing on the planet. And we have gotten very comfortable where everybody's like, oh yeah, so-and-so's pedo. And I'm like, oh my God. It's just insane, man. Nothing means any, like, no words mean anything anymore. That's sadly where we are. Especially coming from Reddit. Yeah. I mean, these Reddit clowns, but it's not just Reddit. I mean, a lot of these are like, right-wingers are the ones doing that too. So here's the clip I was looking for right here. Here we go. This is freaking fantastic.
It's your stuff better than me. Nobody knows more about taxes than I do, and income than I do. Nobody knows more about construction than I do. Nobody knows more about campaign finance than I do. I know more about drones than anybody. Nobody knows much more about technology, this type of technology, certainly, than I do. Nobody knows more about technology than me. Nobody in the history of this country has ever known so much about infrastructure as Donald Trump. I know the H-1B. I know the H-2B. Nobody knows it better than me. I know more about ISIS than the generals do, believe me.
And honestly, there are so many more clips of him just saying that about everything. Somebody's got to get a montage of that. The best thing is like, this is the meme of this is whenever I'm filling out a job application, and of course, no one's honest on job applications. No one. Like, job application. Are you aware? Do you know how to do this? Yes, of course. No one knows more about X, Y, or Z than me. Okay, well, are you familiar with this product? Of course. No one knows more about that than me. Oh, well, that's great. You sound very qualified. Well, no one knows more about, qualifications than me. So it's such a, I hate formalities. I can't stand it. It's why over here on Twitter, and I just have this idea of, like, I just think that people, maybe it's a flaw.
Okay, I'll be back. I need to go for a walk, dog.
when I'm putting a rule set out for a community,
Oh, fuck.
Yep. Was it a bad goal?
Who's playing right now?
It's a gold. It was the gold medal game, Canada versus the U.S. women's.
No.
I'm not of the mindset that you're only part of this one community online. I have the mindset that you're part of a ton of different communities online. Okay? So, like, why do I think that my rule set should be superior to the next one? You already know. If you don't know, then get the fuck out. Simple as that. Actually, I'm gonna add that to it. You already know, and if you don't know, get the fuck out. That we're doing that right now. We're about to change that right now. Hang on. General setting, rules. Okay. You already know. If you don't know. All right. There we go. So you don't know. And I think that just kind of puts it into perspective. I think it's a very simple rule. Okay, there's the rule right there. Okay. All right, there it is. Simple as that. You already know. And if you don't know, get the fuck out. Change Reddit too. Well, so Reddit's different from a perspective of my only rule on Reddit is to follow Reddit TOS because I don't know what Reddit TOS is. So that's my, just follow Reddit TOS. Whatever the fuck Reddit TOS is, do it. So, but I can be a little more direct on Twitter because Twitter's a lot more, you know, laid back on that. So that's why my rules on Reddit is follow Reddit TOS. Whatever that is, follow. And if you don't, then you'll probably get banned. Oh my god. Trans Girly for 10 says, Jeremy, can you give me those desserts, the quartering likes? Moving on. I know, it's supposed to be 50. All right, that, you've done it. This account, no more. You got to send a minimum of $50 or I'm not reading your shit. You just crossed every line. But you know what? It's time for Breaking Guthrie. Because we have some updates, ladies and gentlemen. We have some updates on Breaking Guthrie. That's right. Oh, you thought it was over? You thought there was nothing left to talk about? Well, you would be wrong. Because guess
La la la
who
la.
showed up to the
La la
party
la
today?
la la. La la
Make
la
it
la la.
500. Yeah.
Are you
Nothing new
Oh,
are you
happened.
thinking
Are
of
you
that
kidding
Italian
me?
song?
We have a major breaking story with
think so.
Breaking
Kinda
Guthrie.
sounds like
That's
it.
right. You're not gonna believe this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's gonna blow your mind. I just gotta find it in my bookmarks here. It's gonna blow you away. Look at here, ladies and gentlemen. TMZ says they have received a 4th ransom note. Boom, boom, boom. Now, didn't TMZ yesterday
Dog,
and
what
Harvey
would you
Levin
do if
claim
Forza
that they
got
were
delayed
not going
till
to talk about more ransom
2029?
notes? Didn't we get a big virtue signal from TMZ yesterday where they
Yes,
said,
I'd be
we're not
shocked.
going to talk anymore about this? Oh, yeah, we did. We certainly did.
I'd be extra fucked
We
up,
got
dude.
this video right here, okay? Hang on. I think it's this one right here.
I don't know, I guess my Xbox would be permanently used as a YouTube platform.
Final thing I want to say.
This is yesterday, by the way. This is yesterday, okay?
Which honestly, I probably won't play it much on my Xbox, just because of the FPS. Once you go from the FPS on the computer, it just doesn't look the same.
Money in return for information leading to the identity of the kidnapper and the location of Nancy
But
Guthrie.
that may change
We have received now
when I actually have it
numerous
and
letters
have
from
something
this
to play
person.
that isn't
We are not going to talk
6
about
years
this
old
person
and
anymore.
slightly mediocre.
Except one day later, they have received a 4th ransom note, ladies and gentlemen. Great job, Harvey Levin, for showing us how much you stand by all of the things that you believe in.
Because if I tell you that he sent us another letter but didn't give us the information, and I keep telling you he sent us another letter and another letter, then suddenly when I stop, everybody's going to figure out, oh, he must have finally given the information, and that could screw up the investigation. Because that information is going to go immediately to the FBI, and then they're going to do their thing. So, by definition, if we keep saying...
Let's see, is it Jerome? That was it. Harvey got that $50 super chat, so he had to read it.
We got another one, we got another one, we got another one, and all of a sudden we say we're not going to talk. You're going to figure out that means he just gave it up, and it could then tip off the kidnapper. So we're not going to say anything more unless and until we get that information and pass it on to the FBI. And at some point, then we will let you know. And also, that creates a public record for the person who would give us this.
So that was yesterday, and here's today right here.
On the next TMZ Live, TMZ has received yet another ransom demand. And this one is sophisticated and puts the media right in the middle of it.
So much for standing by your word, huh, TMZ? I mean, again, I want to repeat that this is why I don't take this case seriously, because it's all a big joke from the people that are involved in it. That is why I am treating it the way that I do. And here is their new update.
The search for Nancy Guthrie has gone international. We have learned the FBI has told federal Mexican law enforcement to tell various police agencies to be on the lookout.
Mexico! We get Mexico now.
For Nancy and her kidnapper. Now, our law enforcement sources are telling us that it is possible they believe that Nancy was taken across the border, but they doubt if she is across the border that it happened directly after the kidnapping. We're told that because we know now that the FBI checked cameras, Border Patrol cameras, and also other various electronic devices. We are asked not to be specific about that, and they have come up dry. There is nothing showing any movement across the border where they suspect Nancy Guthrie was in that car. Now, that said, we're told that she could have been taken at some point
after the kidnapping, a day or so later or 2 days later. They just don't know. And obviously,
Today is the day you shall
to get across
finish
the border
the
undetected.
status.
But right now, they have put the word out.
Yeah, that'd be nice,
And
dude. All right,
so
go
far,
ahead.
no luck. There is something else. TMZ
You must
approved
believe.
another ransom note today. This is a highly sophisticated demand involving a form of.
At this point, there's only one solution. Okay? There's only one solution. And I know how to save Nancy.
Is it bad to eat 10 slices of toast every day?
Easy solution.
It's
Okay?
probably not good.
If you want to know. Maybe you don't. Okay?
But why not, dog?
Because if it's you're asking me, it's a fucking waste of calories. Might as well just eat some good food.
You want, all right? If you want this done,
But dog,
there's only one man
Jesus
in.
likes bread, dog.
Yeah, he likes good bread.
We are beyond the
like
upside.
real bread, not fake bullshit.
Okay? There's only one man. John Creasy.
But dog, it's Wonder Bread, dog.
Yeah, I wonder why people eat it.
John Creasy will solve this case in
They're goated, dog.
literally minutes. All right?
Have you ever tried the, it's not like dark brown, but the brownish bread?
Man on Fire.
Pumpernickel bread?
Greatest movies ever made.
No,
in the
I think
history
Dempster's
of
makes
the
it. It's
world.
no, like I'm saying, it's sort of
We have now,
light brown. It's not dark
we have
at all.
now
Like
moved
pumpernickel's
into
dark
Man on
brown.
Fire territory.
Pumpernickel's good too,
All right?
if you get it from somewhere good.
Ask Nancy
But
about
the brown bread
Creasy
tastes a
Bear.
little different.
Ask her
I guess the
about
wheat
Creasy
is
Bear,
darker or
okay?
something. I'm not sure.
That's what we got to know. But it is, seriously, if you've never seen Man on Fire, I cannot get through that movie without losing it. Just can't. I can't do it. But we do have some, besides TMZ and their garbage, and I want to listen to the rest of this TMZ garbage to see what they have to say. This sophisticated letter. Let's hear what they have to say today.
Yeah, like that bread is like empty calories, isn't it?
Demand involving a
I
form
don't
of
know.
crypto,
Probably.
not Bitcoin.
Pretty sure with that kind of
now,
bread,
it is demanding
like it's made to make you.
roughly the same amount as the demand letter we received, shortly after the kidnapping. The
I think
$6
it's
million
like
demand.
literally made so
Did
you
you forget
eat more
about
of
the
it.
Titans? Do you remember the Titans? I remember the Titans. I love almost
Good.
every Denzel Washington movie, but as I've said, I am a father to a daughter, and anytime that there is a kind of like father-daughter element, which is why obviously Interstellar is my favorite movie. Man on Fire is one of my favorite movies. I will die on the hill that Armageddon is a phenomenal movie. I don't care how much hate Michael Bay gets. All right? Armageddon, incredible.
It's not exactly that, but it's close to that. The demand graphically describes the consequences if the demand is not met. It also involves the media, saying that the media essentially becomes a go-between, a trigger, if you will, for getting this ransom money. We have been asked not to be specific about any of that beyond what we've just said. We have forwarded this on to the FBI.
Now he may address it in the next 2 minutes, but the fact that Harvey Levin is not even addressing, the elephant in the room at this point in time speaks volumes. Mark Miller says the fuck is movie is Armageddon. Armageddon. Armageddon is great ridiculousness. Yes, CK Timmy. Armageddon is a new movie from Beardo Studios where you can't read, but you try to make people think that you can. It's a story of a retard who thinks he can read, but he can't.
And they are looking into it. The email that we received today does not have the same crypto account as the crypto
Have you
accounts
changed your
and that
stance on what you would do if Megan Fox was on an island with you and she
we told you
refused your
yesterday that
advances?
the FBI went around to various gun stores
That's
in
not
the Tucson
the
area
entire
with a list of
hypothetical.
names trying to see if
Nice.
anybody on
What
that
was the
list
entire
had a gun
hypothetical,
at any
dog?
of these shops. We were told, and
Well,
we told you this yesterday,
We're on a deserted
that
island,
the
and
list
that's
was
it.
created
That's what
by
happens.
the people who would.
What do you mean that's what happens, dog?
Similar to the one that the kidnapper was wearing. The FBI had gone to Walmart and other retailers, created this list. We are told that this did not bear fruit, that so far...
What you're saying is you're not a good man.
There was no match here. Somebody buying a gun and buying that holster.
Yeah, I guess if I die uselessly, sure.
A couple of other things.
What do you mean?
FBI team, there is a team that is
So you're gonna force yourself on her, dog?
just finding people who have bought items similar to the ones the kid...
I don't know, like, it just seems like all this information is incredibly sensitive that should not be publicized. And I know that he's not releasing it. It's like the law enforcement's already released a lot of this, and I just don't understand.
That's fucked up,
like,
dog.
it just doesn't... None of this makes sense.
Okay, Mr. Tick.
Yesterday, less than 24 hours, this
Mr.
clown
Duct
said
Tape.
he's not going to talk about ransom letters and demands
Nice.
anymore. And now here we are. This case is a comedy show. That's all it is. It's not even a serious drama anymore. It's a fucking comedy show. It's the Truman Show of kidnappings.
Kidnapper is wearing. They actually have a team contacting Walmart and other retailers, and their focus is finding matches, people who have bought more than one of these items, a backpack, a jacket, a holster, or anything else. Again, we are told that so far they do not have any real leads on that. So the bottom line, and this is a quote from a law enforcement source, we are shaking the trees looking for clues. So they are doing everything they can. There's one other thing that I was...
Sophie, this is Jeremy. Has Beardo recovered from main event when he tried to burn you on what you look like on Cobra Cast, but it backfired? That was a pretty bad backfire. That was a pretty bad backfire. Marv Village says, when you said Beardo Studios, I only saw Bro Island and thought Fist Aren't Enough as a subtitle for Armageddon. That's really good, actually.
Asked to mention, and that is something I know to be true. The FBI is really serious that anybody who is trying to get money from the Guthrie family with a phony demand letter is going to spend, as it was put to me, a long, long time in federal prison. The FBI does not mess around.
I am kind of gotten to the point where I am not sure how real a lot of this stuff is, because there's just so much nonsense involved in this story that it's just impossible to take some of this stuff seriously, man. It really is. Like, this is a joke. This is an absolute joke. This is, I can't believe that they think that, well, I mean, again, there are a lot of stupid people out there, but like, it's crazy. So like, we've got this update right here. Google Trends.
For Nancy Guthrie going international, a source tells Fox News Digital. The FBI has reached out to authorities in Mexico.
The 2026 version of John Benet Ramsey. That's interesting because, like, again, if you have to understand, like, I typically don't care about these stories. Like, you had the John Benet Ramsey. I remember how big that story was. I never followed it because I didn't care. The girl that went missing recently, a couple years ago, the whatchamacallit, somebody will say her name. She was like a social media. Her and her boyfriend were doing like the cross country thing or whatever her name was. I'm waiting for somebody to say it. As soon as somebody says it, I'll know it. Gabby Petito, yes. I really didn't follow that story, and I know that was like a big time story, but I didn't follow that one. So I don't know if these other stories that have been highly publicized have felt as ridiculous as this one, but this is crazy. Were those other ones, did they have as many ridiculous kind of nonsensical stories intertwined in it, or is this one isolated?
The investigation is now well into its 18th day. Now, something TMZ reported today as well is the addition of yet another ransom demand.
This is a highly
we just saw this.
sophisticated demand.
Yeah, we just saw this. We don't care.
About any of that beyond what we've just said.
Something else that caught our attention from Fox Digital this afternoon. Google Trends show that...
Jeremy needs to sign into TubeBuddy. No, I actually need to get TubeBuddy removed. I fucking hate TubeBuddy. I want to put, I think it's vidIQ. That's the one I want. TubeBuddy pisses me off.
An internet user appears to have searched for Nancy Guthrie's home address in the weeks prior to her disappearance. Once by someone in Arizona in June of 2025, and once again in January and on January 11th. A date that was also of interest to investigators originally when they asked Ring camera users for video from that day, January 11th. Other related searches within the last year included images or a map of Nancy's home and a search for Savannah Guthrie's salary back in December. Fox News correspondent Matt Finn is outside Nancy Guthrie's home. Matt, what are you hearing?
Well, there was no DNA hit on that glove of interest, but of course that DNA in the glove.
How many of you ever seen, have you ever seen the movie Super 8? I know a lot of people don't like it because of JJ. I fucking love that movie Super 8. But the reason I ask is if you have ever seen Super 8, there's a moment that happens in that movie early on with the train crash. And if you remember the kid, that's the director, and he's like, production value. You remember that? He screams production value because they have the backdrop of the train. Every time I see these reporters standing in front of Nancy Guthrie's house, I think about them going, production value. We have to stand in front of the house, guys, because it adds production value every time. Super 8's a phenomenal movie, by the way.
Could come into play in the future, but for now, the sheriff says the DNA from inside the house is going to be critical as well.
We have DNA from that scene that is a mixture of DNAs, so we have to separate. Hope the lab can do that and still preserve.
This guy seems incredibly creepy and shady, in my humble and retarded opinion.
If some of that evidence in case the defense wants to test it, should we make an arrest?
The sheriff's office says it will be using other options aside from CODIS, including genealogy databases. Here in Pima County, the sheriff's department writing, investigators are currently looking into additional investigative genetic genealogy options for DNA evidence to check.
Again, I don't know if you guys are watching Cobra Cast. I've already given you my theory. You're clearly not watching. This is my theory right here. I have floated this theory out multiple times now. You guys clearly are not watching. I don't know why you're not taking my theory seriously, but this right here is more than likely what has happened. Sad, but true.
Yeah, for matches, CODIS is one option of many databases that are available. Now today, Fox News talked to the CEO of Ostrom, who says they have many more factors than CODIS and very wide-ranging tests. We don't know for sure that Ostrom will be involved, but they did help ID Brian Koberger. Here is the CEO.
So the CODIS system will catalog 20 markers from people, and generally the people in that database have been convicted of a crime. The kind of testing that we do at Ostrom looks at the entire DNA. There's probably
a lot of people getting a lot of screen time to advertise their companies, you know?
At least 500,000 markers that we're looking at instead of 20 markers.
And the sheriff has said that there will be follow-up investigations at Nancy Guthrie's home behind me. Yesterday, we saw, some activity in the property and what may have been some investigators at a neighbor's house as well. We'll keep you updated from on the ground here, Will.
Matt, any information on the TMZ reported ransom notes? It would seem that those ransom notes, in whatever form.
Dog says, I'm about to go watch the new Game of Thrones show. You talking about the Night of Seven Kingdoms? I started that show last night. I watched the first 2 episodes. I am very much in. I'm interested, and I should probably get the next 3 tonight, and then it'll set me up for the finale. It's nice to watch a show that's not made for women. It's nice to watch a show that's not made for women. And that's like Game of Thrones. Like, plenty women love the show. I'm just saying, like, just so it's not made from doesn't mean women won't enjoy it. But I'm just saying, like, it's not catering to women. It's catering to men. And, of course, tons of women like that type of stuff. This is what we have missed in Hollywood.
They arrive would have clues. You could track down the sender of those emails, and that might be something to take seriously.
Yeah, well, Harvey Levin has said that the sender took seriously blocking the email address and identifying themselves in those emails. You know, my impression is that if those ransom notes were verified as real, that they likely would have been paid. You heard Savannah Guthrie say we are willing to pay, but that apparently never happened. So we never have been able to confirm whether those notes are real, Will.
All right. And now the search, apparently, at least in part, moves to Mexico.
So now we're in Mexico. Now, season 4 of Breaking Guthrie has moved to Mexico now. Here we are. John Wayne got that one. Rob says, there's this group called Mystery Inc. has a great track record of solving cases, even working with dogs. They can solve this. I bet they can. The Glory of Rome is Forever says, Man on Fire greater than Interstellar, hands down. Well, I mean, I'm not going to argue the greatness of Man on Fire because I love it. But I absolutely love Interstellar as well. So I love them both. CG says, my guess is she was taken to Mexico thinking she's easy money. It went south. Cartel took out the kidnapper as he's a loose end, buried him, and Nancy out in the desert. She'll never be found. Oof. Damn it. BRJ says it creeps me out when Jeremy's theories start coming true. I told you this is just a TV show. CG, you probably are not wrong, by the way. John Jones says, are you getting it? Yes, Armageddon it. John Jones says, J.J. Abrams is a good director, not a good writer. Interestingly enough, if I'm not mistaken, I'd have to look this up. I think J.J. Abrams wrote the screenplay for Armageddon. I think. Can someone confirm that for me? I think he is. I think he wrote the screenplay. I think. I think he's a good director. I think he's a decent writer, but I also think that he's a cuck. I think that he's a cuck for Hollywood. I think J.J. Abrams is a person that will follow whatever trend he needs to follow in order to stay in the cool kids club. Yeah, there you go. Oh shit, JJ did co-write the Armageddon screenplay. Yep, see there? So I think that, I think J.J. Abrams is just a cuck. A Hollywood cuck. He has no alpha male energy, anything like that. But I think he's a talented filmmaker. I know, like, it's a very, like, he's very unpopular on the internet. I get that. But it doesn't change the fact that, I mean, he directed Mission Impossible 3, which is fantastic. And it basically rejuvenated the entire, franchise, because I thought Mission Impossible 2 was dog shit. So he and I believe that Bad Robot was involved in 4 and 5. I, as a Star Trek normie, I fucking loved Star Trek 09. Thought it was great. Into Darkness was a step back for sure. his Star Wars is awful, and there's really no defense of that. And that's really where the weakness of J.J. Abrams comes into the fold, where he is willing to sacrifice any talent he had to be the cuck for Hollywood. So I'm also a big fan of the TV show Lost, and he's a creator of that show. Was Fringe? Is that the other one he did? And there was another TV show that he did around that same era. So he's had a lot of really, really awesome projects he's been involved in, for sure. Rise of Skywalker killed his career. Rise of Skywalker is one of the worst movies ever.
Alright, I'm gonna get off for now.
One of the worst
I'll get back on
movies
after I eat.
And that's on J.J. Abrams 100%.
Alright, peace.
It was